You know what? Thank you for all of you that have inquired. Everybody from the YouTube channel and for people that are in my quote-unquote everyday life. The one thing that is absolutely so extraordinary about this building is not only do people have to pay more than a third of their paycheck or sources of income to rent. You're lucky nowadays. So I got my bike fixed, and wherever it was stored for 40 days, so you all know what I gave up for Lent, but a miracle happened. Approximately now, it would be well over a week. The situation in which, you know, anybody who's, if you've never been to this channel, don't even watch this video. What's so extraordinary is when we lived where we did for so long, and the one of the I don't want to mention who, when the place was not renovated and the rent was up 49.15%, when my mother's friend spoke to the mother, she actually said, "I don't care about the law." And that was fascinating to me, because when people's emotions get really high, and you all know, we all go through situations that are difficult to deal with, but our true character comes out when we're facing adversity. And I am 95% proud of the way my mother and I were able to handle this. So we have our full storage unit. You all know about Fresh Start Moving. So the overhead for that type of business is so low. The estimates, I'll be talking more. You all know that I am expressing to you little breadcrumbs and tidbits about what I'll be discussing in reference to the scooter, in reference to the apartment, in reference to a book that I purchased from a Canadian author, and it's called Fix Canada. But I wanted to say that when I bought this bike in June of 2024, and today is June the 1st of 2025, I've had this bike for exactly 1 year. And the very first time I ever rode this EMMO scooter, you know what I made the mistake doing, riding this scooter, is when you ride a scooter, you have to have the pedals up. You cannot have the pedals close to the ground, because if you do a turn, and you're doing a really, like if you're doing a turn around a really steep or a sharp corner, you've got to use your core and balance. And if those pedals hit the ground, then that's when the scooter will fall. Now, evidently, since I've had this scooter fixed, they have no idea how the battery died. So to replace the battery, it was $300. I had the back replaced. I didn't bother getting that fixed because it was cold. But the battery shouldn't have died, and that was the mystery. But these are very durable scooters. The first time that my battery died, it had something to do with the charger, and it was like the battery had my family member said it looked pregnant, This time it wasn't pregnant, so their best guess is it was tampered with by a human being, which is very, very unfortunate. At any rate, I just wanted to also let you know that the Meghan Markle video, or the Meghan Markle trivia, is June the 1st of 2025, which is, folks, that's today. So wait a minute, one sec here. All right, so the trivia contest for Meghan Markle today is it'll either be on the Lasha Rajenko channel live, or it'll be on Trevor's new channel. And also, I want you to keep in mind why we're doing trivia and why this is a non-donation charity, because a surgeon didn't keep his oath. And so therefore, the holes that I have in my knee cause great distress. It caused, a terrible flight or fight response. And when you're told over and over and over and over and over again that there's something wrong with you, you really start to believe it. So the only person you need to believe is yourself. Because do you know what we behave like? We behave subconsciously to what we think we're worth. And where do you think we get the original messages of what we're worth? It's the truth. And I'm so grateful to have my scooter and this place. And I'm working so hard. And I worked so hard during that time, from March the 13th, right up until we found this. I found it, and do you know what? That's why you get 3 months notice, so you can find a place to live. Because not only are there expenses with first and last, and nowadays people will often ask for an extra month's rent, depending on your credit score. And sometimes when we get bamboozled over and over and over and over, it can be very triggering. Why am I talking about that? Because it's a projection of how I feel. So all I'm doing right now is hopefully sharing something that everybody can relate to, except I'm totally talking about myself and I'm projecting. But in this projection, I hope that you learned what I learned, and I hope this makes sense. But anyways, we're going on a ride. Ready? On the road again. Oh, it's beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? Let's go say hi to Larry. Oh, but before we do, look at the little doggy.